Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm changing the way I do a video for you this week. I'm going to break them into smaller pieces. So instead of sending you one big video, I'm going to send you 2 or 3 small ones every week. This one we're going to start out with, normally we start out inside of Schoology, and I'm going to do that. But first I want to do some talking to you because we're starting second quarter. And first quarter was, I don't know, weird. A lot of people struggled, and so I kind of want to talk to you about some things, and I want to talk you through, maybe encourage you a little bit on second quarter. So we're going to do that as a video. I've got some notes here to take and show you. I'm going to show you all kinds of stuff, and I'm going to stop that video. Then I'm going to go make a video for the assignments this week. So the first thing I'm going to do is welcome you to the second quarter. This is going to go from now. That's literally today. Starts second quarter. Today is Wednesday. Today is actually the end of the first quarter, I think. So all of your assignments, by the way, I need to by Thursday night. I can fudge it by till Wednesday, but I got to put grade. I'm sorry, I can fudge it till Friday, but I got to have grades in. So I need everything done by then. All right. But let's talk about second quarter, which starts, I think, tomorrow on Wednesday. And I want to show you some things and give you a little encouragement. First thing I want you to know is about your grade. Okay, so I want you guys to maybe write this down somewhere, this table. If you don't write it down, you should at least know how to come back and get to this so that you know. But this works for every class you take, every semester, now through the time you graduate high school. Okay, these numbers. See, your goal here is this semester grade. That's what you're going for here. That's what counts more than anything else, and that's what's going to get you into college or wherever you're going. This is the goal. This is what we just finished, first quarter. Okay, you still have second quarter, which is from now until Christmas time, and then sometime around Christmas time we're going to take a semester exam. Okay, and I'd like for you to notice that all that work that we just did is not quite half of it. All right, and so if you did good, outstanding, good job, you're in good shape going into second quarter. But if you really goofed up first quarter some, and I'm going to give you an example here in a minute. If you goofed up first quarter, then you still have a chance to pull out your grade and get a decent grade by the end of the semester. The goal here is this final semester grade, not here, not in first quarter or anything like that. Now I know your parents see your grades and they freak out, and that's good for you, because if you didn't have a very good grade first quarter, you need to figure out what happened. What did I do wrong? Do a little reflection and ask yourself, what can I have done better? Did I really spend the time in the class? Okay, a semester is supposed to be 45 days. Now we only put in about 40 days, but a quarter is supposed to be 40 days. You're supposed to have put 40 class days into the first quarter here. If at best you put in 30 minutes per day, you're supposed to have 20 hours in the class by now. Many of you have less than 10, which means you're doing this too fast. And then I get my usual emails right about now. Mr. Thomas, what can I do to save my grade? Well, probably not much of anything, and I'm a pretty honest guy when it comes to that. All right, but this first quarter, okay, it's pretty much in the books. It's done. If you got an F, all right, you got an F. If you didn't, congratulations. But if you got an F, okay, you got an F. Let's focus on second quarter. Let's focus on something we can fix. Now, first quarter's not quite done. You can still work on it. And one thing I want you to notice is that we're going to put your percentage in here, not your grade, but not your letter grade, but your percentage. And the higher that goes, the better this whole thing is all the way across. Okay, so when you look at this percentage, even if it's still an F, a 59% F is way better than a 32% F, and you'll see, because it's easier to recover from, and that's one of the reasons I'm showing you this. So if you still have time by the time you see this video, all right, then do your very best to get this grade as high as you can, even if it's still an F, because it's going to make it easier for you to recover from it, to make this final grade here a better grade. All right. First quarter is worth 40% of your grade. We take your first quarter percentage. Let's suppose you got a 60%, and we take 60 times 0.4, and we get a number here. I'm going to show you an example right here in just a minute. Okay, and we put a number here. All right, And let's suppose here you got an 80%. We take 80 times 0.4 and we put that number here. And on the semester exam, let's suppose you got a 75% on the semester exam. 75 times 0.2, because the semester exam is only worth 20%. We put that here, and then we add all of these up, and you get your final grade. Okay. Here's an example. All right. Let's suppose that and a lot of you are like, yeah, I wish, but let's suppose you got a D first quarter, 65.5. What we're going to do is we're going to put that into the calculator. We take 65.5 times 0.4, okay, because that's what 40% is, or 0.4 times, and we hit equals. So then I get a 26.2. All I did was took 65.5 times 0.4, and I hit equals, and that number goes in there. And that's just kind of a weird number that doesn't really, you can't really put a label on it, okay, but it's how many points you got for first quarter. Now you look at that and you go, okay, well, I want to get an A. I want to get an 89.5. All right, well, now you got to get 70 points between these next two the second quarter and the semester exam. The bad news is there's only 40 points available there and 20 there, so the best you can do is 60. That's if you get 100 on everything. But you can start doing some figuring. Okay, well, I can't get 60 points. Even if I get 60 points, the best I'm going to do is get an 86.2. That doesn't quite get me to an A, but I'll bet I can get a B. So then you start thinking, what do I have to do second quarter and semester exam to get a B? I don't know. All right, let's continue with our imaginary thing. Let's suppose you do pretty good second quarter. You get a lower than, but you get a B, pretty good B. Okay, that's an 83.5. You multiply that times 0.4 and you get a number of 33.4. Now add these two together right here. Add these two together. You got 26.2 for the first quarter, 33.4 for the second quarter. You're now sitting on a total of 59.6, and you still got 20 points to go. Now what's the best you could do? You could get a 79.6, which would, if you guys look down here at the grading scale, it would get you a B if you got a perfect score in the semester exam. Okay, I'm trying to be a little realistic here, but you can do this however you want, and you should keep this going for all of your classes. I would have one of these grids drawn for each one of my classes, and I'd fill this in, and you can fill in the first quarter for all of your classes right now. Then you can even start doing some predicting and some planning once you figure out how this thing works. Okay, so let's say for your semester exam you get boneheaded and you fail it with a 50%, but a 50% times 0.2 still gets you 10 points. Okay, add that to the 59.6 you already have, and you get 69.6 points, which according to the grading scale gets you a C. Okay, this is how we calculate your grade. We do this exact thing, it's just we have a computer to do it, but you can do this on your own, and you can do it for every class. So what you should do right now is for each one of your classes, make one of these little grids, fill in what you're gonna get for first quarter, or at least wait until you see what you get for your first quarter grade. All right, figure out how many of these points, I don't know, let's call these quality points, I don't know what you want to call them, but how many of these points you get, put that down. That's done, that's in the bank, it's not changing. All right, but then you can start figuring, okay, I can get a total of 40 points for second quarter and 20 points for the semester exam. I got 60 more points I can get. What can I, if I got this, if I get more of these points, what can I get to here? Because this is the goal. Okay, and compare it down here for the grading scale. Now the grading scale is set, it doesn't change. All right, and I want to talk to you real fast about a couple of things there. First of all, an F, you absolutely do not get the credit at all. You have failed the class. If you get below a 59.5 in the class, that's this 59.5, not this. If you did not get a 59.5 here, that's okay, you still got time. But right here, this is your grade in December. If you do not get above a 59.5 in this slot right here by December, then you failed the class, you don't get credit. But if you get above a 59.5, you get a credit. Now that's a D. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. You get an A, you got an A. B, C, these are good grades. Okay, but excuse me, but I will tell you this, a D technically passes the class, and you get the credit for it, but it brings down your GPA, because the other thing that you want to think about is you have to have a C GPA. That's a 2.0. Okay, If you don't maintain a CGPA, you don't progress through school. You also don't get to do a lot of sports. Some sports even have a 2.5 requirement. Okay, so if you get all these, yeah, you got your credits, but you're not going to progress through school to become a 10th or 11th or 12th grade or wherever you're at. And more than likely, you can't play sports. And there's a lot of other things, like I don't think they let you have a parking space. I don't know. And if you guys are virtual, that's fine. But if you're doing something different, so our goal here, you cannot graduate high school and get all D's. You can't. Okay. You have to have a 2.0 to graduate high school. So if you get a D, somewhere you better get a B to even it out. So the goal here should really be at least a 69.5. Then you never have that problem. If you get all A's, B's, and C's, you're not going to run into any issues. Okay. So right here, your goal should be at least a 69.5 or higher for all of your classes. Okay. All right, moving on. Some things I want you to know. Your grade in Admentum, what you guys see in Plato or Admentum, is not the correct grade. Okay, that is not all of your grade. A lot of you guys look at it and you're like, oh man, I got an A, I'm good, I don't have to work so hard. Yeah, well, you're wrong. Okay, don't be looking at that grade in Admentum or Plato, because it fools you. Okay, plus don't be looking at your progress bar, because a lot of you guys see a very high progress bar and you're like, oh, I'm doing great, but your grade is below an F. So just because you got a good progress score and just because you have a good grade in Plato or Admentum doesn't mean you're doing well. You need to be looking in skyward at your grade. Okay. All right, we're moving along. I'm talk about videos and emails. If you're seeing this video, you probably understand that I email you the videos. If you just somehow got to this video through a link in Schoology, I send you a video, at least one every Monday. Today is Tuesday, but I send you one every Monday. Okay. I'm actually going to start sending it to you in groups of 3, and you're going to get 2 or 3 videos, maybe 4. But you need to be looking at those videos. I spend a lot of time producing those videos. I have to convert them on my computer, then I have to upload them to YouTube, and I have to link YouTube. I mean, it's a lot of work for me, and I don't do it because, oh, what the heck, let's just make a video this morning. There's important information in there that you need to be listening to and looking at. So you need to take and figure out, when am I going to work on Mr. Thomas's biology class? First thing I got to do is I'm going to go watch the videos for the week, and I try to keep them short. Now this week is going to get a little long because I'm throwing this video in here too, but mostly they're less than 20 minutes, and you can give me less than 20 minutes to watch these videos, and they're going to help you out. So watch these videos. Okay, read your emails from me. I send you emails at least once a week, maybe more. You need to be looking at those emails. Okay, the other thing you need to be doing is going inside of Schoology and looking at the calendars. I didn't spell maintain right, I maintain a calendar for each month in Schoology. I need you to use it. I'm going to show you a calendar right here inside of Schoology. All right, I'm going to pull it up. This is the October calendar. This is inside of Schoology. So you go inside of Schoology and you look, and every one of these is a link to stuff. Most of it's in Admentum or Plato, whatever you call it, but some of it is elsewhere, and I need you to go do that. One thing I want you to look at is, you know how it's broken up in tutorials and mastery tests? Well, the tutorial, always underneath the tutorial, there's the guided notes. You have to pull up these guided notes. You have to print them out, okay, and you have to fill in the blanks. Yeah, just like a regular class. So some of these are produced by Plato or Admentum, or sometimes I make them. Now you cannot, it gives you the option. You can go right here and you can say and you can type on that, but that's not what I want you to do. I want these printed out. I want you to handwrite into these blanks, and then I want you to keep track of them. Now, you do not need to put them into an interactive notebook. You do not need to necessarily bind them into a binder. That's up to you. You can just keep them in a folder of some kind, but you're going to take a picture of each one of these pages and send it to me. It does not have to be in color, although if you'd like, that's up to you. But I have a lot of students saying, well, I don't have a printer. Okay, that was an agreement that you made, or your parents made, when you guys signed up for virtual school, is that you would have a printer, because you have to print out these guided notes and fill them out. That is, it's a huge part of your grade. I'm actually going to start taking it as a test grade. Okay, so they have to be done. And if you'll notice it, for every tutorial right underneath it, guided notes. The only thing is kind of weird, I just noticed this week The tutorial, the guided notes are actually from next week, but they're there. You got to do it. So go ahead and wherever you see a tutorial, look for the guided notes. They're there. Okay. Now this week we have an activity. I don't have it in there yet because I haven't made it. Go away. But I'm going to make this video next telling you how to do this enzymes activity. You wouldn't know what to do if you didn't come in here and look in this calendar. It's all here every day. This is a link to a YouTube video called the Amoeba Sisters. I'd like for you to notice what I'm asking you to do this week. There's a mastery test. That's 5 questions. Okay. There's an activity on the enzymes, and when you'll see here, when you see this, you'll see that all I want you to do is read through it and answer some questions. You don't actually have to do the activity because some of these require you to have things that you may not have. Sometimes we do the activities, actually do them, sometimes we just read them. There's a video from the Amoeba Sisters, and there's another tutorial. That's all I'm asking you to do this week. Okay? But you should be putting 30 minutes a day into my class. And if you put in 30 minutes a day, you're going to have tons of time, plenty of time to do this. Look at next week. Okay? Next week is just a couple of interactive videos and a mastery test. Now over here on the right hand side, okay, are some things that I would like for you to do. There's a gizmo. That's a thing you can work through. It gives you a you get about 5 minutes for free, and you can play around with it, and it kind of gives you a visual interactive experience. Okay. Progress reports come out on Thursday. I'm sorry, that should say report card day, shouldn't it? Okay, there's a practice here on the EOC. There's EOC practice, some questions on the immune system. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Everything in this column is optional, but you really should be doing it. Okay, so that's the calendar for the class. I spent a lot of time making that. I put it all together. I link videos in there. Okay, you need to be using it. Again, here's an interesting thing. When you look at the dates in Plato and Admittum, they're not correct. They're not correct. Okay. That's something that, and I'm pretty close to them, but you need to be looking at the dates in the Schoology calendar, because sometimes it says you got to do it on this date in Admittum, and I'm only doing it a couple of days later, so it goes into the next week, and you guys are emailing me saying it's not open, it's not open. I said look in the calendar, because I'm not opening it till next week. Then you go, oh. All right, we've already talked about the notebooks, but I want to just say it again. Do not fill them out online and submit them electronically. You have to print them out. You have to handwrite into the blanks, and then I will ask you to submit them into Schoology. I'm going to ask you twice next quarter, and both of those are going to be test grades. We talked about the activities. These are assignments. You have to do them. I'm going to start making a video just for the activities and sending them to you. I used to put it all into one big one video, but now I'm going to split them up. All right. Look in Schoology, look in your email. I'm going to send these videos to both places. It's going to tell you how to do the activities. Alright, now these activities are, sometimes we have to do it because I think you have it, and sometimes you can do it optionally. Like the one I want you to do today is, I want you to just read it, but if you'd like to do it, all you got to do is run up to the drugstore like Walgreens and look for glucose test strips and lactose strips or something, and they're there, they're cheap, and you can get them and you can actually do the experiment. Okay, but I understand that for some of you this is a little difficult, so all I'm going to ask you to do is just read through it and answer some questions. Alright, I'm almost done on this video. Zoom. I Zoom every day starting at 9 o'clock. Every day I got my Zoom room on. Okay, you can pop in and you can ask me questions. I can help you with an assignment. You can anything you need from me. Alright, most of the time people pop in for 5 minutes. Here's the deal, a lot of you guys don't want to be in a room with other people, so I had to learn this. Now I Zoom with people individually. Okay, and that's fine. If you want me to just Zoom with you individually, which is what most people want, I will, no problem. But if you pop in and you're in the waiting room for a little while, it's probably because I'm with another student. Be patient. I'll be with you in a minute. Okay, I have not had a log jam yet, but I picture I might. If you get in there and you've waited a couple of minutes, maybe pop out and try me again in 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, this is the link. This will always be the link. You can use this link every time. If I change this link, I'll let you know, but I don't plan on it. All you got to do is click it. It'll tell me that you're in the Zoom room, and I'll let you in. And here's the other thing. That's from 9 to 11 every day, Monday through Friday. Unless I tell you something's happening, I can't be there, I'll be there. But if you still need to talk to me outside of this time, just email me. Let's see if we can arrange it. I'll be happy to do it. But you can count on me there every day. Okay? Now what I'd like to do is actually start live one day a week going through the tutorials with you. And if you want to be in there and ask questions, you can. but I don't know how that we're going to work on that. Okay, look, you guys, let's make second quarter much better than first, and let's finish strong. The ultimate goal is your semester grade. If you didn't do well in the first quarter, shake it off and let's make up for it in the second quarter in the semester exam and finish this semester strong. Okay? All right. Call me, text me, email me, whatever you need, and I'm happy to help you. If you know anybody that's in the class, you should start networking with them. Email them, call them, find somebody else that you know in the class, and maybe ask them for help. All right, we can all work together here, and this class is not that hard if you focus. All right, you guys, talk to you soon. Bye.